Hello, good morning, and welcome to Good Morning Arsenal. I wish I was excited as the thumbnail looks. But how are we all feeling before today's big game? Charlene, how are we feeling? It's Chelsea at home.
Do you know what? I'm feeling okay. If I'm completely honest, I'm not really expecting us to get a result today. If Brentford is anything to go by, I mean, that doesn't fill me with much confidence. And when you look at the Arsenal squad, I don't think there's going to be too many changes to that team. Partey's still out. Gabriel, I've seen that he's in training, but is he ready? Aubameyang, he's in training. Is he match fit? Lacazette's still out with COVID. And now I'm hearing Ben White might have
Potentially.
COVID.
Potentially, yeah.
So we're looking at another young Arsenal side, but who knows? Can they get the job done against Chelsea?
Helen, how are you feeling?
Yeah, obviously I'm a realist, so I don't know how we've got any right to think we're going to beat Chelsea. They've won the Champions League. They're that lead by example. You know, they get their fans excited in the transfer markets, the way they conduct business. They do it on the pitch. They're doing it at every angle of the football club. So, yeah, so obviously, do we have a right to expect 3 points? Right?
I don't think so. And judging by the early comments that we got in before the stream started, a lot of people are active in the comments already saying they're not confident. Zane says, I think we'll get a lucky goal early. They make it 2-0, then Chelsea will make it 2-1. So he's still predicting the Chelsea win.
Wow.
Who's Jurgen saying Arsenal's going to get finished?
Someone's predicting 7-0 Arsenal. Who's that?
No, wait, I think he got that wrong. I think he meant to do it the other way around.
I mean, what's he reading?
Right, imagine that. There's a bit of positivity, though. Bada saying 2-2. I mean, a draw will be.
Listen,
nice for us.
Yeah, obviously, I would love nothing more than 3 points today because our first match at home in front of the home fans. With a full stadium, if it will be full, we'll see.
So the thing is, Helen, the tickets haven't sold out. When have you ever seen this is called a Cat A game? You know, games against the big teams, Chelsea.
Ticket in the house, yeah.
It always sells out within like 10 minutes. So this is rare for first home game of the season.
Yeah. And I kind of feel like the club are fully aware that this isn't ideal. Football fans have not gone to matches for realistically 18 months or so now. And yeah, that's not good for the state. And you're playing Chelsea. So I think it's showing how the fans are feeling.
Big up Rabadan with the super chat. This is exactly how I feel like if we do get a miraculous win today, we'll end up losing on Wednesday to West Brom in true Arsenal style. It's typical, isn't it?
See, that's what we say, because it's like we could win today, and if we play well, of course we can win. There's always two teams in a match. Depending on how things go, you're always in with a chance to win. But even if we win today, even if we win against Man City and, looking ahead to next weekend, two very difficult games, would you be confident to then go and beat Norwich in the next game?
Let's be realistic here. We saw against Brentford that we could not get on the score sheet at all. We've still got players missing or players that are in doubt to start today. Who's the most likely player to score a goal? Because we're talking about possibly winning. To win, you got to score goals as well as defend. Who's going to score a goal?
Pepe.
That's the first player that popped to my head as well.
That's the only person we can rely on at the moment, pretty much.
How are you feeling?
Pardon?
How are you, Pips? Are you confident?
Yeah, how are you feeling about this game?
No, I'm actually not confident. And obviously, this is the first game back for me. And I'm normally so excited to go to the Emirates, but I'm just like, I woke up this morning thinking, I've got to go Emirates today. It felt like a chore, like I've got to go. I don't even actually want to go. But then again, I don't want to miss out just in case we have an amazing performance somehow, which I doubt. But I'm not excited. I'm not excited at all.
Yeah.
A massive game like this, we should be geared up, pumping, ready to go. And it's just the complete opposite energy.
Let's talk about the opposition, though, because obviously we're worried about who can score the goals for us. We're naming one player, Pepe, whereas Chelsea, they've got so many options that can score goals. Lukaku's just joined that attacking force as well. Pulisic, I think, is not available, but they've still got Havertz, they've still got Werner, they've still got all these players that can score. So what's the likelihood of Chelsea winning today?
No, I've got
they're like, wow, I don't know, very
absolutely.
You can't put a bet on. They'll probably stop taking bets. That's what the odds are probably for this game.
So yeah, as Sarup,
I'll be serious. The bets will be so bad that you won't want to bet on it because you're not going to get a good return because it's, you know, they'll be clear favourites.
As Sarup pointed out there, they've got Lukaku, Havertz, Mason Mount, possibly Pulisic, Ziyech, Hudson-Odoi, Werner. That is so many players. Who have we got? Who have we got up front, guys? Who's potentially starting today up front?
We've got Martinelli, we've got Saka, we've got Pepe.
Okay.
Yeah, who else?
Does it compare?
Tierney.
Take your Arsenal hat off right now and look at those front forwards. And does it compare? Does it compare to Chelsea right now?
It doesn't. And that's the problem. We've spent the most out of any club in this transfer window, and we're still feeling so deflated. We're still not confident in the squad, and that's a concern.
It's
now,
we spoke because when we look at the Chelsea side, like they've got threats. Who is our biggest threat?
At the moment, no one. Obviously, there's players that can pose a threat, but there's no one that's like a massive threat that you're thinking, I'm scared to go to the Emirates play against this team because, Pepe might do something. Chelsea are not thinking that.
No, of course not.
Thomas Tuchel's not thinking that. They're thinking, of course, he could score, but they're not worried.
But out of any team that does get a result against Chelsea, they won't take the fact that Arsenal are so weak lightly, because they went into probably that FA Cup match against us the previous season. Yeah. We were still no good then. That's true.
That was a big surprise.
Yeah, and we beat them. So they'll be looking at us with a little bit of respect. Yes, they'll feel superior, but there'll always be that element of respect, because when they come to the Emirates, they don't always win.
Yeah.
Against the grain, we do pull out results against Chelsea.
Yeah, last 3 times, to be fair. So maybe they've got an ounce of worry, but not that much. But how would you expect Arteta to set up against this Chelsea side now? Because they've got, obviously, like we said, attacking power. What are we doing at the back? What are we doing at the back? There's rumours, no solid like indication of if it's true or not, but Ben White may not be available. There's rumours circulating about that. Who's going at the back? Are we playing 3 at the back? 4? Should we go with 5 at the back against Chelsea?
We go 7 at the back and keep 3.
No, seriously.
So defensive. Come on, Pippa. He sets us up so negative and so boring. You know, you're playing Chelsea. Come on.
No, but seriously,
like that against Brentford.
I know. But on all seriousness, who would be the defensive line against Chelsea today? If it's not Ben White, it's going to be Kieran Tierney, possibly Pablo Mari and Rob Holding back together again.
Yeah.
Well, we ain't got right options because Gabriel's out.
Yeah.
And on the right hand side, who are we going for? Is it going to be Chambers, Bellerin, Cedric?
I think I would go with Chambers in this match.
Okay.
Yeah.
He didn't have the greatest match on against
Brentford. But he offers you the height as well, because Chelsea are a big team, and you know you're going to need as much strength to try and like keep Lukaku and them players. And he's quite quick as well. He's got the pace as well, Callum. Like, because obviously they're going to be running a lot. They're going to be running them ragged all over the place, I think.
Well, Lewis FC just said match them up formation wise and go with a back 3. I wouldn't mind if Ben White's not available to have Pablo Mari and Rob Holding together. I've got 2 positives to this, and that's only it. Only because in previous games against Chelsea, we've seen Rob Holding manage to handle Chelsea's upfront attack. When there was Diego Costa in the FA Cup final a few years ago, in previous seasons, he's been able to do something and surprised us. And Pablo Mari and Rob Holding together last season had the best defensive record when they played together. So they could surprise us today if them 2 play in the back. Possibly.
Yeah. Well, I think they're going to play, to be fair, because there ain't really... Who else can he play?
Kolasinac?
Nah.
Why not?
There's rumours he's going to Fenerbahce, so that would be silly.
How do you feel about that, Helen?
I'm really happy.
Yeah?
Yeah.
There is something you're not happy about that we were speaking about earlier before the stream started, and that is something about Arteta said in the press conference. Care to share?
Yeah, I wasn't impressed with the language that he used in it, because he said, right, so the rest is about results, and you know you are going to be judged on those results, but it doesn't mean you're doing a good or bad job because you win or lose football matches. I mean, girls, what do you think about that?
I mean, firstly, we're going into football matches. What are we going to do? we're going to win.
Yeah.
So what exactly is he trying to say in this?
Well, there's a slight contradiction in what he's saying. It's almost like I looked at it as in, I'm not really happy that our manager would even suggest that it's not about results, because football is very much about results because it's a sport. Yeah. So it is about results. And that worried me because he's almost trying to deflect any pressure off himself or any responsibility. And that's a concern, because he should be owning it and saying, yeah, we've had some bad results, but A, B, C, D, this is what we're doing to make it right. That concerns me that he's not doing that. It's almost saying, we're trying, but it's not working, but it's okay, it don't matter. But it
Remember I said this last week about his press conference where it felt like he was talking in riddles.
Yeah.
And even though there's people always saying the board are backing him because they're giving him the money to spend, I feel like he's subconsciously saying something that something behind the scenes is not going how he wants it to go. Because as a manager, who would say that? I feel like, them when children be like, oh, I would have gone to the park, but my mum said I wasn't allowed. Yeah. I feel like he's doing that, like he's saying something and we're not getting the message. Because why would you say something silly as that? Like, we're not winning, but doesn't mean we're not doing okay.
Yeah, I just think.
What is his whole ethos? I mean, like, what is it that he wants? Like, we should be trying to win, trying to climb up the table. But what is Arteta's thinking in his managerial role? That's what I'd like to know.
I have no idea.
That's my concern, because you can't be saying to the team in training, oh, but we're not winning, it's okay. Like,
it's stupid.
Where's the motivation? Why are the players going to think, okay, I need to put my ass into gear, get out there and really work my ass off for the team? If your manager ain't bringing that spirit, then who's going to bring it?
Yeah,
I think he's more focused on his end goal rather than what's currently happening. So I think himself and the board have given him a plan of when Arsenal will be competing again. And this is just like the building phase. And he's probably, even though he should be, I feel like he's not concerned about results as long as we don't get relegated or whatnot. I feel like he's more concerned about building the team, bringing an English core back in with the new players he's brought in. But I don't think he's more concerned. I know it sounds ridiculous, but I don't think he's genuinely concerned about where we finish this season, because he knows that his job's still going to be available. Yeah. He's just more concerned about building the team, getting the English core back in, and then being able to compete in 2 to 3 or 4 years, however long it's going to be.
I understand about him bringing like the players that he wants in and building the team, but at the same time, we need to have the right attitude. Yeah. Because it's part of the building process. Exactly. As you're bringing these players in, you need to be building them in the way with the right mentality. Yeah. So you could bring them in, build them, but we've seen like Partey come in looking outstanding, then he sort of dips and then he form back up, and we've seen that with other players as well. We need to have the right mentality from now when you're bringing the players in, when you're building. Yeah. It's like when you're, like when you have kids, like you got to install certain things into them from when they're young. It's the same thing with the players. When
as soon as they get in.
Yes, give them the right mentality. What is the mentality that we've got at the club?
Yeah, but that's
vibes. The mentality is vibes, honey.
Vibes in what? The changing room.
Crazy.
That's the only time I'm seeing vibes, because when we come out on the pitch, it's a whole different story.
It is.
Yeah. I feel like they're just putting too much effort into churning out media, films and
adverts and
it's
new signing videos
areas, rather than it should be on the training grounds and on that pitch and bringing in the right players. Because I can only say how I feel, but I'm not confident with the signings that have been made. Yeah, I'm going to give everyone a chance. Yes, of course we back the team. Yes, we back the players. But I'm not confident that this team can pose a threat moving forward. It looks like next season you're going to be looking to move half of them on, like we're looking to move half of them we signed last season. Like, as in example, Willian, or just he only came in last season. So
what do you think? Obviously, we spent a lot this transfer window. Potentially, we could be signing more. Don't know how likely that is. But what do you think else we need this season?
We definitely need more in midfield. We need a stronger centre-back for me, personally. Like, if it was down to me, I'd have Saliba. I would never have sent him out on loan because he's everything we've been asking for years. A big, strong, physical, solid defensive centre-back who can play out from the back. The way that Mikel actually is trying to drill this team to play. he is one of the players that can actually naturally play that way. So that makes no sense to me, but I'm sure there's reasons why.
Super chat here from Nairo says, if we get 0 points from the first 3 games this season, should Arteta be sacked? Now, I've seen people already say on Twitter, I know Twitter's like another realm, it's not reality there, but people are saying this could be Arteta's last game.
Yeah.
Well, this is only the second one in.
I know.
Yeah, I can't see him getting sacked after 3 games. I can't see it. What, our board? They're not that proactive. Definitely not.
Look at the opposition as well. I mean, it's Chelsea, Man City, Brentford. We should have really got a result.
Yeah. No, they won't. My prediction would be, realistically, we face Tottenham at the end of September at the Emirates. If we haven't got any good results and won comfortable games and hit any type of form or anything positive and consistent by that match, I can't see how we can play them at the Emirates. God forbid the result is not good and he is still in the job. For me, I know that's going to be probably against what the quoted real fans are supposed to think, or try to bully us into being we're negative fans because we want the best for our club. But for me, that's unacceptable. That's just what I feel.
All right, let me put it this way. Because nobody's actually expecting a win today, it seems like the comments, us ourselves, are not expecting an outright win. Let's say, what scoreline would make you very angry after the game and make you think, I don't want this manager no more? 2-0, let's say it's acceptable.
What, today?
Yeah, today.
We get battered 7-0. It is unacceptable.
That's not going to happen, surely.
Surely. I know we're not expecting a win, but no, man.
Would you say anything? Would you say anything worse than 2-0 or 3-0?
It depends on how we can concede these goals. It depends on our performance as well.
Yeah, exactly.
If it's sloppy goals, if it's Leno making mistakes again, playing out from the back, you know, if it's defensive errors from, I don't know, whoever's going to play in the midfield, Xhaka, El Neni, if it's any defensive errors that are just silly goals to concede, is that when the frustration comes in?
Listen, for me, frustration comes in when we lose the game. I don't care how we lose it. Losing, I don't know how most fans feel. I'm sure they're never happy when we lose. I don't care, even if it's... Obviously, if you play really well, you could take something from that. But when you're playing terribly, giving away games because there's no pattern of play, there's nothing positive exuding from the team, that is a very big concern. All
right, let's be honest now. I'm seeing the comments, like even Sal saying tight game, 6-0 Chelsea. Let's be honest now. We're giving them way too much credit. Yes, they look frightening with the squad that they have and the players they can bring off the bench. But I feel like we're giving them way too much credit. In a game of football, as ridiculous as it sounds, anything can happen. It can go any way. Like you said, it's only 2 teams on the pitch. There's different qualities at the moment, but anything can happen in that game. We've seen it numerous of times against Chelsea. We didn't expect to beat them 3-1 in December. We didn't expect to beat them again later on in the season. So anything's possible. I know a lot of Arsenal fans, including myself, are thinking we're not going to win, but that's only because Arteta's putting that on us. With press conferences, previous results is putting that on us, but we have to pull up something in this game.
And I'm hoping that we are going to be surprised in a pleasant way. I'm hoping that the fact that we're at the Emirates, there's fans. I'm hoping that we're just going to go out there and we're going to turn them over. That's what I'm praying for.
And Ikram, I couldn't agree more. That's exactly what I was trying to say. It's not the players' fault, really. We do have good players, but Arteta's not bringing it out of them. He's not bringing it out of them. And we've heard in rumours that players have come out and said that the training style is too hard to understand. It's very strict. It's his way or no way. And it's very rigid. And they're not able to express themselves on the pitch. So who are we really protesting against? Kroenke or Arteta at this point?
Well,
just saying.
Kroenke's actually spent the money.
The problem goes hand in hand, though, Pippa, because the Kroenkes are trying to keep the fans happy right now by giving the money, but that is being mismanaged by everyone the Kroenkes are employing. So it kind of goes back to them and back to who they're employing. So the problem lies within all of them.
Why is Dylan saying I said 7-0? Can you not tell the difference between me and Helen? Helen said 7-0. Remember when we lost to them 6-0? Yes, I will never forget at Stamford Bridge. When we finished 4th that season, but still think we will win today. That was a whole different season. I still can't believe we lost by that margin. That's a game you just never forget.
Yeah.
But it's Arteta. It is at this point. I was backing him last season, obviously not fully because he was very new and I didn't know what to expect. But the more I see, it has to be him at this point. And the way I see him speaking press conferences, I'm just like, I'm not buying into your philosophy.
I don't know what it is either. And if he can see that whatever he's doing or trying to do with the players isn't quite working, it seems like he just seems a bit persistent with it to just keep going until they get it.
Very rigid. Yeah, stubborn.
They need to feel comfortable. How are they going to build that confidence if they're playing in a way that they're not happy with? And it's just not a few players, it's a number of them. And you're just continuing to do that. We're not getting the results. The fans are not happy. Where does the confidence build from?
This is why it's so important who your manager is at a club. And when players sign to new clubs, the first thing they think about is who's the manager I'm going to be playing under. And of course, the club and the fans. But for a player personally, they think, right, I'm playing under this manager. I know I'm going to learn a lot. I'm not going to be able to play good football. What's Arteta? What is his pulling power when he tries to get these players in? What does he say to them? Because all these players that have come in don't know what it's like to play under Arteta because he's a new manager. Ben White doesn't know. Lokonga doesn't know. Nuno Tavares doesn't know. Obviously, they know now. But it's like, what was you expecting?
They're coming
what dream did he sell you?
Yeah, but they're coming to Arsenal Football Club. They're coming,
and that is what
for that. I don't believe half of these boys, I'll call them boys, young men, even probably grew up thinking Mikel Arteta was like a great footballer. It's not Thierry Henry. It's no, I don't mean that in a rude way, but he's just, he was an ex-professional footballer. Yes, he played for Arsenal, but
He won an FA Cup.
He won the FA Cup, yeah. But listen, he's no legend of Arsenal Football Club, in my opinion.
Yeah.
I never felt that confident. I thought, he's a good enough. When we signed him, I thought he was okay. And even when we gave him the armband, he was never my captain.
Yeah.
And felt like the way I felt about other captains of the past, like Tony Adams, like Vieira. He was never that captain for me as an Arsenal fan.
Yeah. So, even when he was captain, I was still looking at Koscielny and then Manfred.
And the one thing that stood out in my mind was that made me kind of feel more relaxed with him, even as a player. Imagine, and I'm a season ticket holder. I go to every Arsenal match, and we had a penalty very late in the game, and I was so nervous when I saw him step up to take the penalty. And to be fair, he put it away. And after that, I thought, you're okay.
You're all right. You're all right.
You're all right. And then it gave me a little bit more faith in him, thinking, okay, I see a bit more the leadership qualities, why he's captain, why Arsene brought him in. But again, he never left the impact. I mean, Fabregas, Santi Cazorla, the players we've had. Mikel Arteta is someone I easily forgot.
Yeah. Well, JXY says, in Arteta's defence, Ole was very suspicious in his first months and he's built a solid team that could challenge for titles. For the first year, we didn't see fluid progress from United, so you never know. And that's obviously coming from a Manchester United fan. And Ole was suspicious. Not just United fans thought that. Other fans thought that too. And he's right. Right now, they are like a challenging team for the title and definitely top 4 contenders.
Yeah.
So they've built a really good squad. So I think he's telling us to give Arteta time there.
Yeah, but how much time can you give?
2 years. How much longer would you take him for to have his imprint in the team and the squad and the club? 2 years? Is that too long?
At this rate, are we going to start to see some form of improvement?
Say that again. Sorry, Charlene.
Are we going to keep going at the same rate that we're currently at, or are we going to see some form of improvement where players are looking a bit more motivated and hungry? You can say, okay, whatever Arteta's doing is actually working.
Yeah, you need to see results. You need to see improvements. You need to see like a hunger and a good energy with the team, which you don't often see on the pitch.
Yeah,
you don't.
So things. Listen, I'm actually looking forward to going to the match later. I'm looking.
Why?
I'm all about seeing
fans again.
I read the room. Yeah. So when I walk into the Emirates, I'm going to read the mood. I'm going to see the energy of the fans. I'm going to really then be able to see a true picture of our home crowd.
Yeah.
And then we'll really see, because social media,
it doesn't tell you the truth.
It doesn't tell you a true picture. We know that.
We saw it under Emery. Like the mood definitely started to change under Emery in the Emirates when it's coming to his end.
Yeah, definitely. So it'll be interesting to actually really see because I know what I know by the fan base that I'm in communication with, what they're saying, and I'd say it's probably about 85%. They're not happy. They are not happy.
85% of fans.
From my interaction with fans, definitely.
Yeah.
Maybe last season at points it might have been about 50-50, 60-40. Now it's definitely 85% easily.
Let's speak about our two newest signings quickly. Of course, Odegaard is back. Ramsdale. I haven't had a chance to speak to you ladies about how you feel about those two signings. How are you feeling?
Do you know what? Obviously, a lot of fans, perhaps that weren't their first choices. You know, there's other players that they wanted, that they would have preferred over those two. But I just want to welcome both of them. Welcome back to Odegaard and welcome to Ramsdale. Unfortunately, Ramsdale's been getting a bit of stick, obviously.
Yeah, that's not nice, is it?
And stuff like that. But at the end of the day, there's 11 players on the pitch. We can't all put it down to Ramsdale and say, oh, you know, he's been relegated twice. What about his defence line? What about the other players that also contributed to the relegation?
Yeah,
so
exactly.
I'm excited for Ramsdale, and I'm happy that he's part of the squad and he's our player, and we're going to support him all the way. And Odegaard, we got you back.
I can't lie, even though he got relegated last season, I had him in goal for Fantasy Premier League and he got me bare points. So he was doing something, right? He was doing something okay.
And he was part of the England squad as well.
Yeah, exactly. And he's young. And like I said, Arteta and the club seem to be getting an English core back, because the last time we had that was when we had Jack Wilshere, Oxlade-Chamberlain, Kieran Gibbs. Who am I missing? I'm sure I'm missing key players here. Theo Walcott. And we haven't had an English core since those players have moved on, really. And it's nice to have, because when the Euros happened recently, all we had was Saka in there, and to begin with, he wasn't even getting game time.
Yeah, but you can also look at it that we have an English core that we choose not to use and sell equally. So it depends how you look at it.
It's true, because we had Maitland-Niles. Well, we've still got him. We've had Joe Willock. Do you know what I mean?
Reece Nelson. We're bringing through a core of English players. We just don't
using them.
They're good enough or utilising their strengths or fully developing them to their full potential.
Yeah. It's true. Someone just commented there saying, I can't find the comment, but he said Ian Wright got stick and Bergkamp got stick when they first arrived. And so did David Seaman. And look how they all turned out. They turned out to be legends.
And Ramsdale, I don't think is a bad signing. Like, I think the issue with that, which is unfortunate for him, is just the whole situation by the club. By the way, they let go of Emi Martinez.
Yeah.
And it goes back to that.
Bad business.
It's the bad business. It's the constant incompetencies, like signing the wrong players, giving them the wrong money, paying the wrong prices. It just highlights the bad business being done by Arsenal Football Club. And it is absolutely, I don't believe, personal to the player. It's just unfortunate. There's a lot of silly people that have got nothing better to do that get a kick out of abusing people online.
Yeah.
And that's not nice at all to see. But I wish Aaron Ramsdale all the best. I think, you know, if we develop him that one step further, work on the little weaknesses he's got, his strengths are better than Leno's weaknesses. So
do you think he can really compete for that number one spot?
Yeah, for sure.
How soon? Do you think he'll even get game time? Do you think he'll start today? Right, talk to me. Let me ask you quickly. The team sheet will come out in a few hours' time. If you see Ramsdale's name on the team sheet, what is your reaction?
Okay, we're getting him in from early.
I can't imagine that.
I can't see that happening.
But it's Arteta. Helen, it's Arteta. Anything can happen.
Yeah. Like that. He doesn't think out the box like that. He's very predictable. I find him really predictable. I find him so predictable.
I find him the complete opposite.
No, he's very easy to read and predictable. He just loves to use big words, confusing sentences to sound more intelligent. That's all. He doesn't change. How is he not predictable? When does he set us up differently? What do you find not predictable?
Because sometimes I don't know who to expect. Actually, no, the starting lineup has been.
The lineup, it might be unpredictable.
Yeah, that's unpredictable. That's the only thing.
He's being very stubborn. I find him a little bit arrogant and stubborn.
Is it because of sometimes his decisions just throw you off? Like, well,
yeah, because they're not necessarily what I would deem clever.
Yeah.
You know,
give me an example. The whole Willian situation.
Willian is a prime example. Okay, fair enough. We bought him. You know, he had a good first game. he was having less impact on most games, but he consistently, like, stubbornly kept playing him.
Yeah.
Why would you do that? And now he's almost demoralised that player because he kept playing him and he was not producing. And now the fans feel the way we feel. That could have been avoided.
Oh, cash money! Don't say that.
Right.
And he shouldn't play him against Chelsea. Definitely not play him against Chelsea.
Deep down, he's Chelsea through and through, isn't he?
He was rejected by Chelsea. Honestly, they didn't want him when they sold him to us. Well, he didn't. They gave him to us. We just signed him for 3 years.
Right, ladies, listen. Before we,
how are you feeling if Ramsdale's name's on the team sheet? And what's your?
I'd be very, very surprised. I feel like it'll be way too much. I don't even know if he's actually fully eligible to play today, but I'll be too surprised. I feel like it's too much of a game to throw him in. I know he's a professional. I know he's played big games. I know he's been part of the England camp, but to be thrown in as a goalkeeper against Chelsea when you haven't had a time to, has he even trained for Arsenal yet?
Yeah, but you know what? At the end of the day, he's played Premier League games.
I know, but you have to know your team.
Before, it's not like we've just picked him out from some random country and he's never played England.
But you have to know your team. You have to at least train together at least before a big game like this. First home debut as well.
No, he wouldn't. Leno's going to play.
All right. Speaking of players on the starting 11, give me your definites and a score prediction. The players you want to see start today.
I want to see Lokonga. I want to see Saka for sure. Smith Rowe.
Yes.
Those are sort of like my main core players.
Mine's pretty much the same. Pepe, Lokonga, hopefully Ben White. Who else? I actually want to see Xhaka against Chelsea, if I'm honest with you.
Yeah, Xhaka could be playing.
Yeah, Pepe. I think I said him already.
Tierney be playing.
Yeah, of course.
Tierney as well.
The only question mark will be the right back.
Yeah.
I think the rest will be pretty much whoever started for Brentford, if I'm honest, who was available. And Aubameyang, possibly. I've seen he's back in training. If he's fit enough or if he's well enough, whatever the situation is, ready. I mean, he should be ready. Come on, how can he not be ready?
We'll see. But guys,
he's fit, and I would love to see Oba on the starting as well.
Give me your score prediction.
3-1 Chelsea. Sorry.
Oh, I thought you were going to say Arsenal then.
I predicted us to win, I don't think. But
you've never, ever predicted an Arsenal loss, ever.
I haven't. Please, Arsenal, prove me wrong today, and I won't predict. I'm not saying that actually. Prove me wrong today, but I reckon Chelsea 3-1.
I reckon 2-1 either way.
Yeah.
2-1 either way. How about you, Helen?
I'm a bit like you, Pips. I'm thinking 2-1.
Yeah.
And there's a part of me that thinks it could be Arsenal.
Gone
against pretty much everything I've said in this.
Yeah.
I want Arsenal to win. So
well, let's hopefully we do it. Hopefully. Big up everyone that tuned in. Big up all the comments and everyone tuning into Good Morning Arsenal. Remember, there's still lots of content to come today. Robbie's going to do his road trip to the Emirates. There'll be the build-up show with James and Cecil, starting 11, and the match day live in a new fancy studio. And of course, the full-time show post-game and fan cams outside the Grand. So we'll see you then. And hopefully Arsenal can win.